Assalamu alaikum dear learners, I hope you are all doing well. I welcome all of you in this session of science. Today we are going to learn about water as a natural resource. First of all, let's understand what a resource is. A resource is a stock of a material that we can use. Resources are the things that help us to fulfill the necessity of life. These are money, machine, land and many other things. Natural resources are the valuable things which are provided to us by the nature. Means natural, it comes out from the nature. So the resources which nature gives us are called as natural resources. These mainly include land, water, soil, forests, etc. We use these resources in our daily lives. These resources make our lives easier. For example, water. Can we live without water? No, it's not possible to live without water. So water is the basic source, basic natural resource that we need. So it becomes the necessity of the life. Now, natural resources are the resources which we get directly from the nature. They are thus called as natural resources. These include sunlight, air, water, coal, petroleum, etc. They are broadly categorized into two categories. The first one is the renewable resources and the second is the non-renewable resources. So, renewable resources are the resources which never get exhausted or completely finished, such as water, sunlight. Do they get finished? No. If we use and use them, we overuse even them, they don't get finished or they don't get exhausted completely. Okay. Now the second type of the resource is a non-renewable resource. Now what is a non-renewable resource? Non-renewable resource is a resource which gets exhausted or completely finished. But how does it get completely finished? If it is because of the overuse. For example, fuels such as petroleum, coal, if we overuse them, they can be exhausted very soon. So these are the resources which get exhausted or completely finished, such as petroleum, coal. Now, water as a natural resource. Water is absolutely necessary for living. It is an inexhaustible or renewable resource. It is essential for all living things. It is present in flowers, fruits, vegetables, plants, animals, air and even in our breath. It is present everywhere on the land. It is present everywhere on the earth. Our earth contains about 3/4 of the water. That means 71%, near about 71% of the land surface is covered with water, which implies 3/4 of the total earth surface is covered with water. Water is essential for all living things. A number of activities that are household activities and many other activities depend on water. For example, irrigation. Industries, they also need water for their processing. Moreover, in our whole household activities such as cooking, bathing, washing and many other activities, we need water. It's essential for all the living things. Now let's discuss about the sources of water. What are the various sources of water? We'll look onto it. The first very source is the rain. It is the main and the important source of water right now because it is the rainwater that fills every water body such as rivers, lakes, ponds, seas, oceans and many other river bodies, water bodies. So rain comes down on the earth's surface in the form of water droplets. These get collected in water bodies such as rivers, lakes, ponds. This is the main and the most important source of water. So the rivers which get their water mainly from the rain are called as rain-fed rivers. The second source of water is the underground water. We all know the rain falls on the earth's surface. It gets collected in water bodies such as rivers, lakes, ponds. But sometimes the water seeps onto the ground and it gets collected below the ground. That water is called as underground water. Now, a question arises, can we fetch this underground water? Can we use this underground water? If we can use it, how can we fetch this underground water? Yes, we can get this underground water. How? We can dig holes onto the ground such as wells, tube wells, hand pumps. These help us to collect this underground water and we can use it. Now what are wells? Wells are deep dug holes dug in the ground to fetch the underground water. This water can be then processed and then it can be used. The third source of water is the surface water. Surface water, as the name implies, surface. Surface means on the top. These include rivers, lakes, ponds, seas and oceans. So these are all included in the surface water. Now the point arises over here that the surface water gets its water from the rain, mainly from the rain. So rain is the actual source of the surface water. Now as the source is the rain, so the flow of the water in these water bodies is mainly during monsoon, that is the rainy season. Now in India, the monsoon season starts from June to September. It may start by the end of the May or by early June. Now the fourth source of water is snow. As we all know, snow falls during winters. It gets collected on the surface of the mountains. But what happens during summer seasons? This snow gets melted and it forms water. This water flows onto the rivers and finally it gets collected in lakes, ponds, seas and oceans. During summers, what happens? As the temperature increases, this snow melts. So the flow of water in such rivers, which gets its water from the snow by the melting of the snow, it increases. So the flow of water in such rivers is more during summer season, as the more snow melts due to high temperatures. Now India is a country of rivers. It's a land of rivers. A number of rivers flow through India, originate in India. There are a number of rivers flowing through it. In northern India, number of rivers include the Ganga, the Yamuna, the Satluj, the Beas and the Chenab. On the other hand, in the southern area, there are a number of rivers that include the Narmada, the Tapi, the Mahanadi, the Godavari, the Kaveri. The rivers in the south, they drain their water into the two water bodies, that is Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Sea. The rivers in the southern area are called or also called as peninsular rivers. Now the water present in seas and oceans is a bit salty. Do you know why? It contains salts such as sodium, potassium, calcium. That's why this water tastes a bit more salty than the normal water, than the fresh water. So the water in these oceans and rivers, it cannot be used for drinking, but it can be used for other activities such as washing. It can be used for washing clothes, washing other things. It can be also used for bathing, but not for drinking. India is surrounded by three main water bodies. In the east lies the Arabian Sea, in the west lies the Bay of Bengal, and in the southern region lies the Indian Ocean. So India is a land, it is covered by three water bodies on the three sides. Now let's learn about dams and reservoirs. Dam is a barrier that is constructed to hold back water and raise its level, which can be then used for many other activities, for many different purposes, such as irrigation. The water present in the dam can be used for irrigation. It can be run through canal. Canal is a channel of water, a big channel of water, which can be run through and the water can be delivered onto the farms. Moreover, the water present in a reservoir can be also used to generate electricity, that is hydroelectricity. Water can be used to generate electricity, and that electricity which is generated using water is called as hydroelectricity. Moreover, the water present in dams can be used for supplying water to villages, where it can be used for many household activities. Moreover, picnic spots may be developed around a dam, and the water present in the dam can be used for recreational activities such as fishing, boating, etc. Now, to make you understand more clearly, let's have a look onto the video where you will learn about sources of water and water as a natural resource.
In this module you will learn about the sources of water. The Earth appears blue from space. This is because 3/4 of Earth is covered by water, but most of this is in oceans and seas. This water is salty and cannot be used for drinking and agriculture. Where do we get water from? Some of the sources of water are tanks, ponds, canals, rivers and dams. The amount of water in these water bodies depends on the season. They have a lot of water in the rainy season but may dry up during summer. Rain is the main source of water on Earth. Some of the rainwater seeps into the soil and collects underground. This is called groundwater. We dig wells and tube wells to draw this water up for our use. During summer, there is a shortage of water in most parts of our country. People dig deeper wells to reach the underground water. Water is often wasted. We must conserve water. Rainwater harvesting is an easy method to conserve water. Rainwater that falls on rooftops can be carried through pipes and stored in barrels and tanks, so it can be used later. Tanks and ponds must be cleaned and maintained so that they can fill up with rainwater and also recharge the underground water. The water from our taps and the water used for irrigation come mostly from rivers. Rivers are home to a variety of fish and plants that require clean water to survive. Some rivers like the Ganga have water throughout the year. The source of the Ganga is the Himalayas, and melting glaciers provide a constant flow of water. River water becomes polluted by throwing garbage and dumping untreated sewage and wastes from industries into it. Polluted water harms the animals and plants living in it. Consuming this water also causes harm to people. We need to control river pollution. In this module you learned that water is an important resource. Wells, tanks, ponds, canals, rivers and dams are some of the sources of water. We must protect the water bodies and conserve water.
So dear kids, I hope you have understood today's topic. We'll meet in the next session with a new topic. Till then, goodbye, take care, Allah Hafiz.